Good evening. I'll call this meeting to order at 6:01. Roll call.
Alex Cantu present.
Mary Hernandez present.
SP Ochoa present.
Nereida Cantu present.
Alda Benavides present. Dr. Science, I do declare a quorum.
Thank you, Dr. Benavides. Can we please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone.
I know this is our first meeting where we recognize our kids publicly, and this is awesome. A big round of applause for all the students and all the parents. Thank you for being here. We're going to start with public comments, item number 4.
We do have a public comment by Ms. Brenda Salinas.
Madam President, I'm going to ask for additional time.
A couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Jerry, couple of minutes.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Science, administrators, and members of the community. I am Brenda Lee Salinas, the proud president of La Jolla AFT. Once again, I come before you today on behalf of the La Jolla AFT family to address the healthcare employees' contribution increase. Who recalls the December 15, 2021 letter from the Superintendent of Schools addressed to the La Jolla ISD employee family? Our members do. It states, La Jolla ISD continues to offer free medical insurance to all employees, a package worth $467 per month at no cost to the employees. At this time in December, our members were hoping for a generous Christmas bonus, but instead, they were reminded of what the district has invested in taking care of all school employees. And our members felt their tireless efforts continued to go unnoticed. A $240 Christmas bonus would have been a generous gesture, but it didn't happen. 4 months later, on April the 20th, during the school board budget work session number 3, our chief financial officer presented to the board that a budget amendment is needed to balance out the health insurance fund due to a $4.2 million deficit. There is a need to increase the La Jolla ISD district contribution plan. The chief financial officer, and I'm going to quote, possible contribution to this fund in order to continue to provide a health or well-rounded health insurance to our employees? Well, our members agree with this well-rounded insurance, but disagree on the employees' contribution increase of $20 per month, $240 per year, which will generate $1 million. Members of the board, we ask you to continue to provide free medical insurance for all employees. If funding is an issue, we must question the special projects presented on April the 20th by our chief financial officer, and there's an item there listed, a scoreboard. Yes, you heard right. A scoreboard that will be removed and replaced, added to the 22-23 district budget, yet not approved. But this scoreboard during these trying times should not even be a discussion, because this is a stationary that is a stationary and does not educate and has no health issues, will cost our district $1.2 million. You want our members to contribute $20 per month, $240 per year, and generate $1 million to break even with the insurance plan? This is plain wrong. Then a 2% and 2.5% proposal salary increase presented at the budget work session, that proposal will not make a dent in our members' paycheck. Teachers and every school employee deserve a pay raise to keep up with the rising living costs and inflation of 8%. This is also plain wrong. the 2% and the 2.5% that the administrators are proposing to you all. So we ask you to be good stewards of public tax dollars in our students' future by retaining the best employees. Our members humbly ask that the LJISD take a much closer look at expenditures made to improve future fundings to our district. Let's start including valuable input from our frontline employees when making decisions that would affect our overall budget. Lastly, we must put our differences aside, continue working together, and make the LJISD employees a top priority, as well as our students. Members of the board, make the right decision and continue to provide free medical insurance and a significant raise for all employees. Again, a significant raise for all employees. All eyes are on you. Thank you, Madam President and members of the board. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. Next item on the agenda is the tax collector's report.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Ochoa, second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item, number 7, Superintendent's report. Dr. Sainz?
Thank you, Dr. Benavides. Good evening, everyone, and parents and students. It's wonderful to see you all of you here in person at our board meeting, so thank you.
Oh, yes.
We
Yes.
apologize.
There's one item, number 6, approval of regular called meeting for April the 13th.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Cantu, second by Ms. Ochoa. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Now we're ready for the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Thank you. The first item on the superintendent's report is the enrollment report for April 14th, 2022. On this date, we had 11,369 elementary students, 13,272 secondary students, for a total of 24,641 students, which is 2,072 students less than at this time last year. The next item on the superintendent's report is recognition of Paredes Elementary for being featured in a case study by Inner Explorer for the use of daily mindfulness in special education classrooms. So if we could have Dr. Benavides and Ms. Hernandez present these awards.
Good evening, Madam President, Board of Trustees, Dr. Science, and La Jolla ISD community. I'm Dr. Miriam Tellez, School Counseling Director, and tonight I am here to recognize Mrs. Judith Lopez Guerra, teacher at Paredes Elementary, which under the leadership of Dr. Erica Gonzalez, principal, has been featured in a case study by Inner Explorer for her use of daily mindfulness practices in her classroom. Before I proceed with the recognition, I want to point out I will be discussing more about mindfulness through a discussion item later in tonight's agenda. On February 2022, Inner Explorer conducted a case study featuring Mrs. Judith Lopez Guerra and her special education classroom at Paredes Elementary. Mrs. Lopez Guerra implements daily mindfulness practices both in English and Spanish. She notes that daily mindfulness practice has helped her students find their inner voice. Students who were once extremely shy have learned to ask for what they need. Mrs. Lopez and her co-teachers have noticed a remarkable difference in student behavior, made evident by a drastic 85% decrease in the number of reported behavioral issues in her classroom. She states, "It's not that their voice wasn't there before, it's that they didn't know how to find it. Mindfulness helps the students get in touch with who they are. Board of Trustees, you have in your packet a copy of the case study Inner Explorer published featuring La Joya ISD and Mrs. Judith Lopez Guerra's efforts. I would like to thank our board and Dr. Science for making Inner Explorer accessible to all our students and our community, for your continued support of making mental health needs of our students a priority in our district. At this time, may we recognize Mrs. Judith Lopez Guerra, teacher at Paredes Elementary. Okay.
Board of Trustees and teachers, if we could have you all pose in the center for a picture. Thank you.
We also want to recognize Dr. Erica Gonzalez, principal at Paredes Elementary. Before I conclude, I would also like to recognize Paredes Elementary Behavior Specialist, Mrs. Cynthia Salgado. Mrs. Salgado leads the implementation of mindfulness not only at Paredes Elementary, but district-wide. Thank you, Ms. Salgado.
Thank you, Ms. Salgado and Ms. Lopez Guerra and Dr. Gonzalez. The next recognition is recognition of the 2021-2022 Future Leaders Academy participants. If we could please have Ms. Espi Ochoa and Dr. Nereida Cantu present these awards.
Madam President, Dr. Benavides, Madam Superintendent, Dr. Science, members of the board and community. Today we're going to be recognizing our Future Leaders Academy participants for the 21-22 school year. For some background knowledge, the Future Leaders Academy offers teachers the opportunity to acquire leadership skills that help them continue to grow as educational leaders in their school, in the district, and in the larger educational community. To participate, teachers had to first apply and then be selected by a committee of district administrators. This year's cohort had 17 participants that came from elementary, middle school, and high school. Through their participation in the academy, these teachers demonstrated their commitment to self-improvement and professional growth. So this year's cohort included Ms. Karina Canales Cavazos from Zapata Elementary. Ms. Brenda Elizondo from Ibirreina Elementary. Ms. Maria E. Flores from Dr. Science Middle School. Ms. Claudia Gomez from Seguin Elementary. Ms. Zulema Gonzalez from the Head Start program. Mr. John Grassi from Palmview High School. Mr. David Guerra from Benavides Elementary. Ms. Yasmin Padilla from E.R. Chapa Elementary. Ms. Nora E. Pulido from Cavazos Elementary. Ms. Cristina Saldaña from La Joya High School. And Ms. Crystal Villarreal from Dr. Science Middle School. Not being able to join us this afternoon, but of course we wanted to recognize and celebrate them, was Mr. Andres Lopez from Telma Salinas Tem Early College High School, Ms. Ana Maria Zuniga from Dr. Science Middle School, Mr. Orlan Garza from La Juarez Lincoln High School, Ms. Jessica Cardenas from Palmview High School, Ms. Isabel Hernandez from Palmview High School, and Ms. Cassandra Garcia from Peña Elementary. So board members, and again community, join me in celebrating and recognizing the great commitment of these individuals as they move forward in their careers as future leaders. Welcome.
Congratulations to our future leaders and also to the principals that support them. So any of the principals that are here, please stand to be recognized. principals. Congratulations to all our future leaders. Next, we have recognition of UIL academics, elementary district champions. If we could please have Mr. Alex Cantu and Dr. Benavides present these awards.
We have the parents coming in, so I'm just going to give them a minute.
I thought I wasn't going to stop. My chair went back.
No, ya me la sacaría.
My chair went back. And we go, wait.
Ms. Irma Tijerina, our elementary UIL coordinator, will present these awards.
Okay, I think parents are just walking in.
We have some parents still coming in, so welcome parents.
Good evening. At this time, we will be recognizing our elementary UIL district champions. These students placed first in one or more events at the district meet that took place from January 13th through the 28th. Before I begin, I would like to thank all the campus UIL coordinators and coaches. Thank you, coordinators and coaches, for your continued commitment and dedication to the UIL program. I would also like to thank all the parents that are here and of all the UIL participants. Thank you, parents, for encouraging and supporting your child to continue to participate in UIL. I will first begin recognizing second and third grade district champions. As soon as we are done with second and third grade, we will bring fourth and fifth grade along with their parents. So fourth and fifth grade parents will be waiting in the Tabasco room. Okay, beginning with second grade. In creative writing, we have Abigail Bautista from Escandon Elementary. In Spanish creative writing, we have Kevin Chavez from Seguin Elementary. In music memory, we have Sofia Hinojosa from Tabasco Elementary. In number sense, we have Noah Montelongo from Sanford Dice Elementary. In oral reading, we have Hilda Cantu from Benson Elementary. In Spanish poetry, we have Erandani Lopez from Ibi Reina Elementary. In spelling, we have Bradley Becerra from Camarena Elementary. And in storytelling, we have Yurley Cifuentes from Zapata Elementary. This concludes our second grade district champions. Yes, if we can take a picture. That's second grade, yes.
Congratulations to all our second grade UIL winners. If y'all will just give us a moment, we're waiting for one of our second graders. Yes, you can, yes. Yes, we can wait.
His dad is coming.
Congratulations. Will the parents of all our second grade UIL students please stand so we can recognize you? Congratulations, parents.
Okay, moving on to our third grade district champions. In chess puzzle, we had Alan Soto from Escandon Elementary. In dictionary skills, we had a tie. We had Jonathan Lopez from Benavides Elementary and Aliyah Boadi from Cavazos Elementary. In listening skills, we had a three-way tie. Alexia Vallarta from Peña Elementary. Daniela de Hoyos from Zapata Elementary. And Dominic Jimenez from Peña Elementary. In mathematics and number sense, we had Nathan Montelongo from Sanford Dice Elementary. In music memory, we had Levi Hernandez from Cavazos Elementary. In oral reading, we had Allison Gonzalez from Camarena Elementary. In Spanish poetry, we had Aymara Cantu from JFK Elementary. In ready writing, we had Luis Sainz from Benson Elementary. In spelling, we had Mareli Ramos from Camarena Elementary. And in storytelling, we had Victoria Peña from Benson Elementary. This concludes our third grade district champions.
Congratulations, third graders. Any family members, moms and dads and family from our third graders, if you could please stand so that we can recognize you. Good job, third graders. So we're going to take a couple of minutes so that we can allow the parents of our 3rd and 4th graders to come into the room. They have been waiting in the Tabasco room.
4th and 5th.
4th and 5th grade parents.
Like, and a mic.
Or something. It appears that we have our 4th and 5th grade parents in the room. Welcome, parents. Thank you for being here.
Okay, in 4th grade, in art, we had Kaylin Rios from San Fordyce Elementary. And in calculator applications, we had a tie, Norma Perales from Mendiola Elementary. And Ariana Ochoa, also from Mendiola Elementary. In chess puzzle, we had Juan Trevino from Benson Elementary. In dictionary skills, we had Lauren Osuna from JFK Elementary. In listening skills, we had Gael Aguilar from Tabasco Elementary. In maps, graphs, and charts, we had Alan Salinas from JFK Elementary. In mathematics, we had Edgar Villalon from E.B. Reina Elementary. In music memory, we also had a tie, Isaac Tovar from Cavazos Elementary. And Alex Cantalapiedra from Gonzales Elementary. In number sense, we had Noah Ordaz from JFK Elementary. In oral reading, we had Jewel De La Garza from E.B. Reina Elementary. In Spanish poetry, we had Daniel Herrera from Clinton Elementary. In ready writing, we had Giovanni Alvarado from San Fordyce Elementary. In science, we had Christine Galvan from E.B. Reina Elementary. And in spelling, we had Deborah Zarate from San Fordyce Elementary. This concludes our 4th grade district champions.
Congratulations, fourth grade students. Will the families of our fourth graders please stand to be recognized? Congratulations. Congratulations, fourth graders.
Moving on to our fifth grade district champions. In art, we had Joanna Salazar from Zapata Elementary. In calculator applications, we had Kiera Cantu from Flores Elementary. In chess puzzle, we had Daniel Santiago from Camarena Elementary. In dictionary skills, we had Linda Martinez from Gonzales Elementary. In listening skills, we had Ailani Trevino from JFK Elementary. In maps, graphs, and charts, we had Gilberto Rosas from Mendiola Elementary. In mathematics, we had Jose Gonzalez from Cavazos Elementary. In music memory, we had Felipe Santoya from Perez Elementary. In number sense, we had Alex Sayavedra from Sanford Eyes Elementary. In oral reading, we had Elena Torres from JFK Elementary. In ready writing, we had Madeline Maldonado from Camarena Elementary. And in spelling, for the fourth year in a row, we had Yael Segura from Benson Elementary. This concludes our fifth grade district champions.
Congratulations, fifth grade students. Will their families please stand to be recognized? Congratulations, parents. Elementary principals, thank you for supporting UIL at your campuses and for supporting the UIL sponsors. Elementary principals that are here, please stand so that we can recognize you. Thank you, principals.
And our overall first place district champions was John F. Kennedy Elementary. We can have a representative from JFK. Yes, if you can come up, Ms. Guerra, Ms. Gonzalez. And Ms. Gonzalez, our coordinator.
Nobody's.
Congratulations, Mrs. Guerra.
Okay, you need to join them, and your coaches that are here, we all can join them.
Sponsors or teachers from JFK.
Ms. Guerra. I was going to tell her, give us your purse. Ms. Guerra. No, she won't. Ms. Guerra. Ms. Guerra. Your purse. Put your purse here. Put your purse here. Put your purse here.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah, you have to press it real hard.
Congratulations to JFK Elementary. Good job. Thank you.
This concludes our recognitions. Thank you, Board of Trustees, Dr. Sainz, Mr. Munoz, Assistant Superintendents, for your continued support of UIL academics.
Thank you, Ms. Tijerina. The next recognition is recognition of La Jolla ISD high school students that placed in the 62nd annual Rio Grande Valley Regional Science Fair and students that advanced to the Texas Science and Engineering Fair at Texas A&M in College Station. If we could please have Ms. Hernandez and Ms. Espy Ochoa do these awards. Mr. David Cavazos, our high school science coordinator, will present these awards. Thank you, Mr. Cavazos.
All right, good evening, Board President Dr. Benavides, distinguished board members, Superintendent of Schools Dr. Gisela Sainz, and esteemed members of the community. My name is David Cavazos. I'm the Secondary Science Coordinator for La Jolla ISD. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to recognize our students who participated in the 62nd Annual Rio Grande Valley Regional Science and Engineering Fair on February the 12th, 2022. So let's begin by recognizing the students. In the Chemistry Senior Division, we have Mr. Juan Gonzalez. In the Microbiology Senior Division, we have Ms. Natalia Otero. In the Environmental Engineering Senior Division, Mr. Brandon Hernandez and Mr. Kevin Cedillo. In the Animal Sciences Senior Division, we have Ms. Alegna Anzalda. In the Robotics and Intelligent Machines Senior Division, we have Ms. Jackie Ceballos. In the Engineering Technology, Statics and Dynamics Senior Division, Mr. Alexis Hinojosa and Mr. Jesus Martinez. Alexis and Jesus also advanced to the Texas Science and Engineering Fair at Texas A&M University in College Station on March 25th and 26th, 2022. And finally, we have in the Biochemistry Senior Division, Ms. Casey Garcia. All right, I'd like to thank Mr. Ramon Menchaca, Mr. Emilio Hinojosa, and Mr. Jose Espinosa for helping these students. I would also like to recognize the parents at this time. Thank you for your support. If you are present, please stand and be recognized. Also, I'd like to thank the principal, Ms. Leanne Herrera of the Academy of Health Science, Professions, and STEM. Would you please stand and be recognized? All right, and I'd like to thank you again, Dr. Sainz, and our distinguished board for your continued support of all of our science initiatives. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to our students, their parents, and thank you, Ms. Leanne Herrera, for your support. Can we have a picture with the principal? Congratulations, students. Thank you so much, David. Congratulations. Next, we have recognition of the regional boys and girls golf team members from Palmview High School. If we could have Dr. Cantu and Mr. Alex Cantu present these awards.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Benavides, Superintendent, Dr. Science, Board of Trustees, staff, administration, and community. It gives me great honor to present to you today the back-to-back district runner-ups, regional qualifiers of the sport of golf. Today with us, we have, and they're all from Palm Beach High School, second place in district individual finisher, Belinda Cortina, a junior. A junior, Diana Vasquez. Junior, Karime Longoria. Sophomore, Valeria Martinez. Sophomore, Suzanne Lopez. On our boys' side, we have junior Manuel Flores. Finishing third place individual in district, Ignacio Garcia, sophomore. Senior, Austin Ortiz. Junior, Tyler Ortiz. And sophomore, David Leal. Their head coach, Coach David Guate. We definitely want to thank our Palm View High School principal, Mr. Leonel Perez, our Jimmy Carter Early College principal, Claudia Gomez Perez, and our Health Science Academy, Ms. Liana Herrera, of which these students represent those three campuses, and well, they participate. Thank you.
Will the parents of these students please stand to be recognized? Congratulations, parents. Congratulations, students. Congratulations. That concludes the superintendent's report, Dr. Benavides.
Thank you, Dr. Science. We'll just wait a couple of minutes for our groups to exit. Our next item on the agenda is discussion item number 1, discussion of 5th 6 weeks daily attendance.
Good afternoon, Madam President, Board of Trustees, Administration, and School Community. I will be presenting on the average daily attendance for the 5th 6 weeks. The dates for the 5th 6 weeks range from February 22nd through April 8th. As you can see right here, I'm going to go ahead and start with the comprehensive high schools. We do have Juarez Lincoln with an average of 84.97%. And cumulatively for all three high schools, as you can see, the average is 83.61%. Now, if we compare it to the 4th 6 weeks, they do have an increase of 6.77 points. If we move on to CCC and the academies, what you see right here, if we look at Hope Academy, they do have an ADA of 77.20% with an average for all three of a 69.75%. If we do compare it to the 4th 6 weeks, we do have an increase of 6.58 points. Moving on to the specialties, which is our early college high schools.
As you can see right here, we do have Thelma Salinas STEM Early College High School that has the highest average for the 6 weeks with a 95.88%. Looking at the average for all early college high schools, you see there it's an average of a 91.40%. And if we compare it to the 6 weeks, they did have an increase of 4.68 points. And looking at the middle schools, as you can see right here, I do want to point out Chavez Middle School because they do have the highest average for the 6 weeks with a 93.28%. For the average for all middle schools, it is at a 91.85% with an increase of 7.93 points compared to the 6 weeks. Moving on to the elementaries, in this slide right here, I do want to point out that all elementaries featured in this slide, they are above 90%. On this slide, I do want to point out Perez Elementary. They are the highest in this particular slide with a 93.97%. Moving on to this particular slide for the elementaries, I do want to point out Camarena Elementary because they are at 95.10%, and they were the highest elementary for the 6 weeks. Overall, the average for the elementaries, it is at a 92.95% for the 6 weeks. And the elementaries were the ones that had the highest increase. When we compare it to the 6 weeks, they did have a 9.64 point increase. Now, looking at the cumulative average daily attendance for the 6 weeks, we are at a 90.02%. If we do compare it to the 6 weeks, as a district, we did have an increase of 7.87 points. Now, I do want to say, and I do want to thank our principals, our teachers, because they're in constant communication with our parents and notifying them about the importance of being in school every single day. So I do want to thank them for that constant communication. We do know the importance of being in school. And again, if they're not in school, we're not educating them. So thank you. Any questions that you all might have?
Thank you, Dr. Villarreal.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, discussion item is discussion of mindfulness by Inner Explorer.
Madam President, Board of Trustees, and La Jolla ISD community, this is a brief discussion of mindfulness practices with Inner Explorer at La Jolla ISD. Both Ms. Salgado and I will be available in case any questions are posted at the end of our presentation. From the case study in the earlier recognition, we can see that mental health concerns are on the rise. At the same time, students and educators are facing an immense amount of pressure to perform well academically and close the learning gap as a result of the COVID pandemic. A study by Challenge Success in February 2021, conducted with over 10,000 high school students, found that 56% of them reported their stress about school had increased, and 32% reported that mental health was a major source of stress. Only 35% of them reported they felt confident in their ability to cope with stress. As a preventive solution, La Jolla ISD implemented mindfulness-based social-emotional learning practices with Inner Explorer in the 2021 school year. Inner Explorer's co-founder, Dr. Laura Bakosh, states, daily mindfulness practices offer foundational support of the 5 core competencies of social-emotional learning: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. According to CASEL, the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, social-emotional learning is a process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make responsible and caring decisions. So how do our students practice mindfulness? The program is a series of daily 5 to 10 minute audio-guided practices. It is based on mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, which is a very specific pathway that has been rigorously researched for nearly 40 years, with over 6,000 studies on mindfulness showing its efficiency for mitigating anxiety, depression, and trauma. A daily practice becomes a powerful tool to address mental health. No training or prep work is required for the teacher. It can easily fit into current schedules and curriculum. It bridges school and home, and it is age appropriate for preschool to high school. It is in English and in Spanish. So how does mindfulness impact our students? It trains attention, it improves self-talk, it can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. It can improve impulse control, coping skills, emotional intelligence, and behavior by up to 60%. It can improve health, sleep quality, and sense of well-being. It strengthens connection and compassion, and it can improve grades and test scores by 7 to 15%. I'm a little bit behind. We are right here. How can mindfulness impact teachers? It can improve classroom management and climate. It can reduce stress by 43%. It can improve teaching effectiveness. It can increase teaching time, and it can help reduce teacher burnout. This is an overview of the mindfulness implementation of La Jolla ISD. We started in 2021 during our virtual instruction year. This is year number 2 for the program, and overall we have engaged all the schools. We now have an average of 772 active users. Most importantly, mindfulness practices have increased from 9,945 in 2021 to 30,621 this year. And it is our goal to continue to grow by having teachers and administrators recognize the benefit of daily mindfulness practices. This is a representation of the program implementation this year across the district, with Camarena Elementary leading the way with 3,974 mindfulness practices, Lorenzo de Zavala with 2,167 practices, and La Jolla High School with 1,623 practices. This slide represents our La Jolla ISD champions, teachers who faithfully practice mindfulness in their classroom. Leading that effort is Mr. Gustavo Garcia from Mendiola Elementary. This concludes my presentation, our presentation, and we are happy to entertain any questions.
Does this take place every day?
It is the objective that we practice it on a daily basis. It does vary from campus to campus. There are teachers in our district that do that, and there are others that practice it maybe once a week. So it does vary from campus to campus, but ideally it should be practiced daily.
So going back to the previous third slide on the practices, I know our slide is not that well, but or clear, and I'm not taking away from those that are doing really well to those that are not practicing as well.
I'm sure there's other reasons why, but Cindy, I know you're the admin of this program. What are some things that teachers or counselors tell you a little bit about this program and the implementation of it? Pros and cons.
I know Angelica Garza at Cavazos Elementary. She has started the Mindfulness Monday, and we promoted it also throughout the district. You know, we use Facebook a lot so that we can help promote it. I know that it's highly encouraged. I know that a lot of the students love it. I know that at the elementary level, they're using it a lot during PE. And, it's good because it's being done faithfully, just like Mr. Gustavo Garcia from Mendiola Elementary is doing it. And like Dr. Tellez said, our goal is that we encourage for it to be done daily everywhere because the results are effective. It's obvious it does work, but the key is that it's done consistently and we try and do it every day.
And this leads me to my next question. Just because of the different outcome behaviors that we've been seeing through social media in secondary, how can we do to support secondary campuses to alleviate those negative behaviors that are occurring?
So Ms. Ochoa, we do have within the program, we do have a counselor series, so we are continuously reminding our counselors to use it on a constant basis, whether they're talking individually to students in groups or in the classroom. We also, so that we can mitigate some of those effects at the secondary level. Even though you notice that it is more difficult at the high school level, we do see La Jolla High School as a secondary campus with the highest usage. Even though we're not where we want to be, we are encouraging as much as possible, and especially through the counselor series. There are series for teachers, for counselors, and even just as an educator. So we can any of our central office staff can also utilize it.
And I'm thinking about those teachers' end of the year assessment time, every 5 to 10 minutes adds up. So I understand, but if we don't have our behavior in place, it spills into our academics too. So that's the reason I'm asking.
I wanted to add something really quick. Like Dr. Tellez says, this is, it's intended for our students, obviously, but the beauty about this program is that it's for everyone. Teachers can use it, and parents can utilize it as well. I know I've tried, and I know my goal for next year is to try harder to get it more for our community members so that they're aware of how to download the app, how to get access to this, so that they can also utilize it at home.
And is that how
English and in Spanish? Yes.
Is that how it's monitored? Through the app, is that how you monitor it, or how is it monitored?
The parents are able to access it through the app. So they download the app, and then if you go onto our website, you can see the steps, like what steps do they need to do in order for them to be able to download it and get the website, and then push in their number, and then they get a code, and then they type in a code. So it's a step-by-step
So these
process.
people that are listed here, that means that they're really active in using their app to access it, or?
Well,
it's a computer-based.
Well, right. The parents use it through the phone, but in our schools, it's through the internet. So everybody, like every campus, there's an admin. So for instance, myself, I'm an admin for the district. But at every campus, there's a counselor that is the assigned administrator. So that person is able to issue out, not licenses, but for them to be able to log into the program. So each campus has like over 600, what are they called? Logins or uses. And so that admin emails those teachers, and so that's how they get access to this program. And it is so easy. There is no training involved. There is no, where they have to have lesson plans. All they have to do is log in, press play, and every day they get to practice one of these practices. And what also helps them is that it keeps track of, okay, I already did practice 1, I'm already on practice 3, I'm already in practice 4. So the teacher doesn't have to remember, I forgot what lesson I'm on. It automatically does it for them. And there's even a writing component in it. So, for students that have difficulties where they can't express themselves, they can draw, they can write. So it's added in there so that they have the opportunity to express themselves in that way also.
Dr. Tellez, and just so I understand correctly, so when you say practices, that's how many times they've logged in, or what constitutes a practice, like a module? Or
Those
what?
are total usage. Like say, for example, the teacher logged in today, it will register it as a practice. So to date, this school year, we have over 30,000 of those. So we just met with the company, so every month, we are able to meet and discuss our progress. And at the campus level, we're able to pull reports. The administrator is able to pull reports for their own teachers, so they can see who is active and who is not active.
And so like the students in every classroom have it in their computers, or how?
We have seen it as we walk into classrooms. We've seen it at the elementary level and at the secondary level. I've seen it personally with counselors going in to do their lesson, and before their lesson, they practice mindfulness, and the students already know. So they're able to just, they give the instruction, they just click, the soft voice comes on, and they're able to relax before actually receiving the lesson.
In classrooms, the teacher's the one that accesses it, and then does the lesson with all the kids.
Right. The kids do not have to do anything other than just follow the instructions with the program. That's it. And the teacher doesn't have to worry. She doesn't have to do, or he doesn't have to do any prep. They just click. And Inner Explorer is very innovative. They're continuously improving the platform, and they're continuously adding different features to it. We met with them this week or last
You
week.
can think of as a practice as a lesson that the
Yes.
teacher does. That's really what they are. It's the 5 to 10 minute lessons
That's
that
what
the
it is.
teachers do with the kids. That's what those 30,000 practices mean.
Right.
What do you do with a campus administrator that is showing that they're not using it as much? Because, this is a good list, but considering all the employees we have,
So from Student Services, Dr. Benavides, we have make visits to the campus every 6 weeks, and Mindfulness is one of those reports that we provide the administrator. We have, based on that, usage has increased. We have also prepared or presented the reports at the principals' meetings, just highlighting those principals that are, that have higher numbers than others. That has also helped us increase. That has provided a lot of that growth between the 9,000 and the 30,000. We are hoping that we really appreciate it at the PE level in elementary. However, ideally, it should be within the classroom, because it is ideally better when it is a small group versus a large group. So we are hoping that we can see that change for next year.
that's what I was wondering. Like, how would you keep track, and how would you encourage people that are not using it? How would you encourage so that it becomes more meaningful for everyone as they use it? Because those that are using it, well, they're using it and they like it. But I'm more concerned with those who are not, and what's being done for those who are not taking full advantage of it, because it's going to become more and more necessary with the mental health situations that we're going to be seeing or are seeing. And so finding ways to get more people involved is probably...
Absolutely. Presentations, discussions like this one today helps us. Having the teacher from Paredes, Ms. Lopez, just be one of those champions and see, how, she's implementing it in her classroom. That helps us. So as we promote and highlight different teachers, we highlight teachers, we highlight counselors. We've been doing that through our Facebook school counseling webpage. And we will continue to do that, to educate. As long as we educate, and see the benefit of it.
Have you presented it to the parent roundtable?
We have talked to parents. We've made several presentations. I don't think that we actually have presented directly to the parent roundtable. I know we just came back. I know that we attended probably the first meeting with the parents, and we talked about, we briefly mentioned it. I think that we talked about counseling services, but we did not have an opportunity to provide an actual lesson, and we certainly can do that.
It was one of the topics that
Yes,
we
it
did
was.
a section with them on social and emotional learning,
Yes.
and we talked about it, but we didn't actually do a lesson with them. So we
Yes.
could do that.
Because that'll help just to get the word
Yes.
out. Yeah.
We have done them actual practices or lessons during principals meetings several times, so that those principals that do not have as much usage at their campus can see what an actual lesson looks like, and so can encourage their teachers to use them. So we have used it at principals meetings.
Yes, we have.
And I guess that's the reason why I asked about the discussion, what they've been saying, because when we come to the table, it's, well, it's another program. Or now you're going to go back and say, well, the board's saying and the board wants it. We want to have discussions on how can I sell it to you? What is working for you? What is not working for you? Let me see how I can support you. Those are the conversations that we need to be having, because right now everybody's burned out. But because this has to deal with the effectiveness of the behavior, we can see how it can spill. Like I said, it does affect the academics part of it. So
Absolutely, Mr. Chow, we'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tellez, and thank you, Ms. Salgado.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Did anyone want to pull anything out of consent? Out of the consent agenda. If no one wants to pull an item, do we have a motion?
So move.
Motion has been made by Mr. Cantu. I need a second.
I'll second that.
Second by Ms. Hernandez. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Under Business and Finance, number 3, approval to increase the district's contribution to the health insurance plan.
so move for the district to increase.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Ochoa to increase, and then a second by Dr. Cantu. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 4, approval to increase the employee's contribution to the health insurance plan. I would like to make a motion to table this item.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and a second by Ms. Hernandez to table this item. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those against, motion carries. Number 5, action to change effective date of termination with Ecoelectrics LLC.
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Cantu and a second by Ms. Hernandez. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. No items under Instruction and Student Services. We move to Human Resources E, Texas Teacher Evaluation and Support System, TTAS appraisers.
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Ochoa, second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. We will be going into executive session at 7:10 under Texas Government Code 551074, 551071, and 551072 at 7:11. We're back from executive session at 9:20 p.m.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion on items under personnel 1 through 7. So move.
As discussed,
As discussed in executive session.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned at 9:20 p.m.